Welcome to Shedding Light Hunting Stories Podcast, the show dedicated to the average Joe and their favorite hunting stories. I'm your host, Travis Williams, and I believe there's power in a good story. Life and faith lessons we can learn and apply to our lives. Thanks for joining us. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome to the show. I hope that you are doing well wherever you are. This might be a new format for some of you. Now, some of you, you're listening to me like you always do over on Spotify or iTunes or wherever it is that you get your podcast. But some of you might actually be watching the YouTube. And if this is your first Shedding Light Outdoors podcast, I just want to say welcome. We're going to try a video format and see how this goes. And I'm excited to try it today. And a lot of times I have to hit the stop button and re-record, but since I'm videoing myself, we're just going to push right through. So welcome to the show. This show, if you are new, is all about average Joes telling some of their favorite hunting stories, and we connect that to faith in some way. And so just want to say welcome. Glad that you're here. Give you a little update into life and what's going on. Right now, we are about a month out from turkey season. I'm taking both of my daughters this season, and I am super pumped to do that. So taking my 7-year-old Selah and my 9-year-old Ansley. Ansley is 0 for 3. She's been out 3 different seasons and not gotten to. She shot at a turkey, I guess, last year, but she has not got to punch her tag. And so that's my number one priority going in. I bought a 360 ground blind. Actually, it's like 272 something. It's blacked out in the back, which I like, but I don't like being in a ground blind. But I talked about this last podcast. I did, so I'm not going to go elaborate. I'm just going to say it's not about me. It's about her. So I'm going to put her in the best situation I can, where she's not. She's got more cover, more time, and hopefully those birds will cooperate and come into the decoys for her. But anyway, we'll have some fun. Otherwise, not much else going on. I am waiting. Hopefully here within the next 2 weeks, whenever April rolls around, I'll know if I'm going elk hunting again. And so I did apply. I know. Some of you know this. I've been on a once every 3 years plan with my wife. However, last year was amazing. And also, my buddies are going to go back because next year they're being losers and going moose hunting, and I'm not doing that. So, uh, so we decided to go ahead and apply, see what happens. We have like 50-50 odds. We have 0 points, preference points for Montana to get drawn to a general tag unit. So, if you don't know Montana's regulations, don't. It's a nightmare to try and figure out. But at any rate, we'll find out if we're elk hunting and. Had a great opportunity this past weekend to speak. One of the guys that's been on this podcast before, Tony Fall. Tony, I think he was episode maybe 209. I could be wrong on that. But Tony came on, and he and I have kind of stayed in contact. He's an Ohio guy, and he is in charge of a ministry at the New Life Church there in Poland, Ohio, near Youngstown. And he invited me to come up and speak at their game night, wild game night. And I thought that was cool. I thought there'd be like 80, 90 guys there. It's only their second year doing this. I get there and there's 250 guys, which just blew me away. It was awesome. And then, they had amazing food. We had elk meatballs, and there was some great food, great door prizes. They gave away like 6 or 7 guns. My buddy Ben won a gun. He won a Henry 22, which is sweet. And I got to share my story and tell some hunting stories, some wins, some I call it highlights and lowlights. That video is actually out on YouTube if you would want to watch that. I actually went longer than what I intended, about an hour long, but I tried to keep it interesting, tell some stories. Some of them you've probably heard if you've listened to the podcast before, but I got to share my heart, tell stories about Hattie and my coal truck accident. And yeah, it was a really cool experience. Speaking of YouTube, I'll say this and then we'll go ahead and introduce our guest. We are releasing videos. Actually, 2 things I want to plug real quick. We are releasing videos about once a week, and we have another video coming out. It should be out about the same time this video is, and it is our probably last turkey video before this season begins. So this is from last year. We've released 4 videos in total. My buddy Trav's recurve turkey, my public land bird. Nate Godfrey was last week with a crazy hunt. Bird flying over our shoulder, him shooting a Jake, and then this week is my buddy Matt Dove. And so 4 great films. They're a lot of fun. We try and make those enjoyable. I might have one more like short. There's some footage I forgot that I had of a youth hunt. So Encourage you, if you haven't, go over to Shedding Light Outdoors, check out our YouTube, and give us a subscribe, comments, likes, shares. We appreciate all of that stuff. It all helps us, and just thank you for your support. The other thing that you can do, if you are interested, is maybe buy some merch. We just got some brand new shirts wearing the quarter zip. This is kind of a heavier fleece version of this. And we have some new hats. Now, we don't have black, but we do have we got some mossy oak right here, mossy oak camo. This is a Richardson 112, kind of a heavier, stiffer hat. This is a little bit loosey goosey. Is that a word yet? Looser hat. This is a mossy oak. This is a perfect little turkey hat. Mossy oak 111. We also have two more down here. We have a real tree. So it's kind of your standard real tree. I don't see it around here. It must be in another box, but we have just a brown hat. So all of those and this shirt, along with if you kind of prefer like a more athletic, lighter one, we have a really sweet light one. We only have two in stock right now that are size medium, but we are selling shirts. We are selling hats. And if you would like to support this ministry, check out the link below, especially down in YouTube and also in I'll put it on the podcast audio platforms as well. But if you check out this link below, I created an online store to help us keep track of how much inventory and stuff that we have. We've never done this before. If your size isn't there, please do not just say, "Oh, they don't have my size." Send me a message. Send me a message, and we will write that down, and I will put that on our next order, and we'll try and restock that store a little bit more frequently and kind of keep our merch available. So if you're interested in supporting us, all of that money, it doesn't go into my pocket personally. It goes into supporting this podcast, paying for our music subscriptions, helping us stay up to date on all that sort of thing. So we greatly appreciate your support. And yeah, I thank you to everybody that's ever supported us in the past. Greatly appreciate it. Today's guest reached out to me through a thing. I talked about it last week on the podcast about fan mail. I didn't even know my podcast host had fan mail, and somebody wrote, his name was Kolton, said he wanted to come on the show. I gave him a shout out on the podcast, and he reached out. And the way that you reach out, leave all the fan mail you want, but I can't respond to that. Go to Shedding Light Outdoors on Facebook, Instagram, and you can leave us a private message there or send an email at sheddinglightod@gmail.com. Those are the ways to get a hold of me. And if you do that, I'd love to have you on the show. Well, Colton did that, said he's been a longtime listener for over 3 years, 18 years old, lives in Texas, and he had some stories to tell. So I was excited to have him on to hear, and he did not disappoint. For somebody who's 18 years old to tell the stories the way that he does in this is phenomenal. He's a great storyteller, keeps my attention. Just I don't know, it's just fun. He had some hilarious stories, all deer stories, and I think that you guys are going to absolutely fall in love with Colton. Super great young man. Love his faith that he shares. So we're going to jump right in. Thanks for checking this out. Thanks if you're watching this on YouTube. Hey, give us a thumbs up. Hope that you like it. Let us know what you think about the online format. And I guess it's always been online, YouTube format. I'm rambling. We're going to jump in. Here's Colton. All right. Well, joining me all the way from Texas, Kolton McDaniel. Colton, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great. Had a good day at school. Everything was good today. Man, how are you doing?
Doing good. It was a busy day, so it's Wednesday, and that's kind of the day I'm just running around like crazy. I got meetings galore and a lot of running, but it was good. Good day.
Nice, man. That's good to hear.
Yeah. So Colton, tell us a little bit about yourself. What are you doing there in Texas?
Well, I'm 18 years old. I'm born and raised in Beaumont, Texas. Currently live in Vidor, Texas, which is, close to really, really close to Beaumont. Anyway, um, I do detailing for a living. I kind of do little in and out side hustles for a job, mainly detailing cars. And I go to First Pentecostal Church in Silsbee, about 35 minutes from my house. I mean, life's good here in Texas, man. It's awesome. I
Nice.
love it.
Nice, man.
Honestly.
That's cool. I
Yeah.
so I had an interesting experience this past weekend. I got to speak at a church, and it was a Pentecostal church, which I'm not
Yes.
Pentecostal, but I mean we all get along. And so I was,
Yeah. Yeah.
and what's crazy is I have a buddy who is I was just texting him. He is a minister within the Pentecostal churches. He found out that I was there. He actually spoke there in October, and he lives like across the state, so just kind of a
Yeah.
small world, but. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So 18, and you got into detailing cars. How did you get into that?
Well, man, I've kind of always been, I guess, a cleaner. I've kind of been like a clean freak for all my life. My brothers, they're not at all, by the way. Anyway, my mom found out like early on that I was kind of cleanliness, had a cleanliness side to me. So she gave me my own room for a while. It stayed pretty clean a lot.
Yeah,
So they started discussing when I got older, about 15, 16, I think, on jobs I should do. And I thought about something cleaning wise,
yeah,
and they mentioned like, "Hey, you do good at cleaning cars. Like, why don't you try that?" So I was like, "That's a good idea. Why don't I try that?" And I'm like, looking up YouTube videos and stuff like tips and tricks and stuff like that. Which there's not a whole lot of tips and tricks to that,
yeah,
but I mean, I started doing it for my mom and my family. Started doing it for my church, and just
dude.
it's been awesome. Eventually, made cards, passing cards out. It's just
Heck
been
yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
Good for you, man.
awesome.
That's an man. If you live closer, I'd take you up on it because my truck, I try and like, so I got a new truck there last year, first truck I've ever really owned, and I am trying to keep that thing clean. But having two kids that are 7 and 9 in the back seat is about
I
near
get it.
impossible. They're getting mud all
Totally
over my
understand.
white seats. Should have thought that one
Oh,
through. So
white seats is a rough one on me,
yeah,
man.
they're like a cream, kind of a cream color. So
Yeah,
it's a bummer. Well,
gotcha.
I'm excited to jump into some of your hunting stories,
Yes, sir.
and I'm just kind of curious there in Texas. So kind of tell us about how you got into hunting. Like, what was your upbringing? How did you get this passion for it?
Gotcha. Well, thankfully, the Lord's blessed me. I was born into this. My dad, my grandpa, my great grandpa, they all hunted. But my dad was the biggest into it. My grandpa hunted a little bit. He killed quite a few deer, but mainly my dad is the one with a passion for it.
Yeah,
And basically, I was born with a gun in my hands, man. It was we've like I've been woke up before in the deer stand with my dad shooting a gun.
yeah,
Like it's just all my life. That's what I've done, and like it's kind of weird because I love to hunt, man. Like all my life, I've loved it. But I got my first deer kind of late. My younger brother Lane, he's 17. He got his first deer, I think, when he was about 7 years old. He got it with a
okay,
shotgun. Awesome story there. But my dad has all he whenever I was about 9 or 10, I think I was 9 when he first started really trying to get me my first deer. He brought mainly we hunt deer, so my we have a deer lease,
okay,
and my grandpa he's inherited it. It's I think 15 acres he owns on this deer lease,
hmm,
and we only hunt box stands on that because it's kind of hard to do a little bit more. But we hunt box stands on it, and we hunt over corn. I know you like hunting over natural movement and all that, and that's something I really want to get into.
it's whatever's
Um,
legal, man. Well, and real quick on Texas.
yeah,
Whenever you think of Texas, there's a picture that comes to guys' minds from what you see on videos, and there's different. It's a giant state. So what's
yeah,
your terrain look like? Are you kind of, there's I know sometimes you got to be in a box blind and use corn
yeah,
because there's not a lot of it's like scrub brush, a lot of not very many trees that you could
yeah.
actually hang in, and so you shoot. I see guys shooting rifles down like long cuts. So
Yeah,
is that
that's
your
basically how it is.
okay?
So what we call it, it's kind of funny. Where we live is we call it the armpit of Texas, because it's
Okay.
because it's like it's not the prettiest, but it is the prettiest if you know what I mean. Like for us, we live here. We've lived here all our life. We love it, but it's a lot of brush and pine trees, and it's not. You think when you hear Texas, you think of cactus, and you think of like cowboys and all that stuff. That's just not where we live, unfortunately. I've hunted in South Texas and it's completely different.
Yeah.
But they use corn out there. We use corn here. I've really wanted this year to be my first year hunting over just natural movement. I've always had an interest in that. So maybe this year I'll get one, but
Yeah,
I'll,
I mean, there's a lot of different opinions about it, and I've talked about it on here before. And it's like, for me, it's like, if it's legal, first off, if it's legal, and I think hunters need to unite and try and not pick each other apart on how we're different,
yeah,
because I
yeah,
mean, we've got people that want to take hunting away from us. So I think,
yes,
we can have our opinions and we can debate, but at the end of the day, it's like whatever you want to do. And this year, I'll be honest, I used corn. We had that EHD hit our herd,
I
and if
heard
I was
about
going to
that.
kill a deer toward the end of the season, it was going to be over. And I almost shot a buck over it, and
Yeah,
I would have totally flung an arrow at that guy with the recurve buck.
yeah, yes, sir.
This year, I hope I like hunting without it, but with my girls, It makes it easier. It helps.
I
And
feel like that's the reason why my dad has always used corn with us, because
yeah.
whenever we were younger, we kind of, all kids do it, where we move too much.
Hmm.
We're kind of loud in the deer stand. I feel like that's why he only used box stands, because if you're in a ground blind or you're in a two-man tree stand, it's kind of hard to get like a 9-year-old kid a deer.
That is
So,
true. That is
yeah.
true.
But anyway, so my dad, when I was about 9 years old, he really, really wanted me to get a deer, like really bad. He brought me to the first stand on our property. We call it, it's my granny's stand, my granny's old stand. So we call it my granny's stand anyway. So you got two lanes. One has a feeder, one does not. One leads to a creek out there. And I remember I'm sitting in the floor of the box blind, usually asleep, sometimes not, sometimes playing on a game or whatever. And my dad says, "There's a deer." And for me, it don't matter if it's a doe, if it's a yearling, if it's a 150-inch buck. If somebody says there's a deer, I go to shaking.
Oh
That's
yeah.
just the way I've always been. Still am that way. So he says there's a deer. I go, I want to shoot it. I don't even know what it is yet. I'm saying, Daddy, can I shoot it? Can I shoot it, Daddy? He says it's a good buck. And
How old are you at this point?
at this point, I'm 9 years old. I have
All
not
right.
killed a deer yet. He
Okay,
really
cool.
wants me to. And so he says it's a good buck. And this is during the rut time, so they're not worried about corn. They're not worried about no bait you put out. They are on fire for those does.
Yep.
So this dude, my dad tried his best to get me on his knee, because I'm a small kid. I'm 18 years old. I'm only like 125 pounds right now,
Yeah.
and 9 years old, I was small. So
Yeah.
my dad is trying to get me on his knee. He's having to help me put the gun to my shoulder and stuff. But before that, he has to put the gun to his shoulder. He usually puts the gun on my shoulder and all that process and stuff, but he puts the gun to his shoulder. He's trying to look through the scope and see what it is. It's a good buck, he says, and he's following it, and this dude's about to leave. Like, he's going in the thick stuff, so there's no getting him after this.
Yeah.
And I don't. My dad says this was like a reaction, I guess. He had his finger on the trigger, and he pulled the trigger, and he didn't even mean to. And dude, the crazy thing about it is, he didn't even have the gun to his shoulder. He's shooting like I think a 7 mag. He's got the gun on top of his shoulder.
Oh my gosh.
So when he shoots, the gun kicks, breaks this dude, my dad's nose. He's got blood everywhere. He's crying because he shot the deer. I'm crying because my dad is bleeding.
Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
it is chaos. And he dropped this deer. It is like a really good buck. I think it's like a 130-inch deer. It's
Yeah.
a really good buck. And I was upset for my dad, but also because, man, that would have been an awesome first deer. I'm talking
Yeah.
an awesome deer. He still has that deer in his shop. But
That's also one that you can hold against like you can always bring that one. Remember that
I
deer that
rip on him
you
a little bit sometimes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
remember that deer that you shot away from me and broke your nose off?
yeah, yeah. I say go hunting with Daddy. He'll bring you to all the deer and then shoot him himself.
That's
Yeah, the
awesome,
whole
man.
way back to the deer camp, he's apologizing to me, saying how sorry. He feels terrible. He wants me to get a deer back more bad than he wants to get a deer.
Yeah.
Like, it tore him up.
Yeah.
And my mom's not happy. She's mad at him for shooting the deer and everything. But so
Yeah.
the next year, my dad brings me to a next spot, about a 300-yard walk past that stand, and there's another stand there. My peepaw used to hunt. Well, we would have hunted that, but there was about 2 or 3 rattlesnake skins in there. We
Ooh.
don't deal with those. My dad is petrified of rattlesnakes. I am too.
Yeah,
So we
we
decided,
don't have those, so I think I'd freak out too.
y'all are blessed to not have
We
snakes.
have
We stress
copperheads,
about
but
it.
that's not the same.
Yeah, speaking of copperheads, on the way to that stand, my dad actually had his foot almost step on a copperhead. I'm talking, we're
Yee.
walking, and he stops his foot, and he's like rubbing his foot against this copperhead.
Wow.
By the way, we didn't see any deer that day because he's screaming his head off. Anyways, anyway, so we get to the stand. There's 3 rattlesnakes skins in the box blind. So my dad's like, we're not doing that. So what he does, he grabs a ground blind, and he puts a ground blind up about, I think it's maybe 100 yards in front of the feeder, and We hunted hard, like hard for the on this stand. We didn't leave it. My dad says if you're starting to hunt a spot, you probably should stay there because the deer will eventually come. And so we hunt this spot hard. We're not seeing anything. 3 days go by, we don't see anything. And I'm disappointed. My dad's disappointed. We know there's deer in there. It's just it didn't work out. My mom's hunting on the first stand that he killed that buck on. And on the fourth day, I think is what he told me, because I had to ask him about this. On the fourth day, I said, Daddy, I think I see a deer. And all kids, they think they see deer. They think everything's a
Hmm.
deer. Everything looks like a deer.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, oh, maybe you do, buddy. I'm like, no, Daddy, I'm being serious. I think there's a deer. And he goes, oh my gosh, you're right. There is a deer. And it looks like a young yearling, a young yearling doe. But at this point, my dad just wants me to kill anything.
Yeah.
We'll take a doe, we'll take a spike, anything.
Hmm.
So my dad, he puts the gun on my shoulder. This is like a smaller 243 my peepaw gave me. And he puts my gun on my shoulder, and I put it on a shooting stick. And this is me shooting by myself, 10 years old. My dad's taught me everything he knows on shooting. And I shoot, the deer drops, and I am pumped. I mean, I am so happy that I killed a deer finally. My brother's killed one, and I've been envying him for a while. I wanted one so bad. I finally killed one, and my dad's so happy for me. I don't remember him crying, but I'm sure he did.
Hmm.
Um, but we're so happy. What makes this even better, we thought this was a doe. It's a young nubbin buck whenever we get to it.
Oh,
And
cool.
dude, that sweetened the deal because my first deer was a buck, and that made it so awesome.
Yeah.
And I know nubbin bucks, you don't want to shoot them, and I don't like shooting them either. But I'm a 10-year-old kid, never killed a deer, hardly ever seen a deer as far as that goes. And dude, you would have thought I done killed a 180-inch deer.
I love that, man. I
I
love
was
that.
so pumped.
I mean, to each their own, and each parent's got to decide what they're going to do. But whenever I watch kids passing deer, like, and they're
Yeah,
passing 120s and 130, and I'm just like, that's not a YouTube video I can relate to. I'm like, I
I
want
wouldn't
my
pass that any
kids to
day.
shoot as
No.
many deer as they can and get that experience. Now, I did, my youngest did want to shoot like a really small spike this year, but that was a different situation. We were hunting EHD, you know,
Yeah,
population, and I had to hold her off. Normally, if it was any other property other than that one, the guy let us hunt it. He was being
yeah.
kind, and we knew that there's 9 or 10 does there. So I was like, if we're patient, there's got to be a doe. And so I'm so glad that one came in, and my dog, one a big doe, but big enough. And my youngest shot her first deer at
I
7 years old.
saw that video, man. It was awesome.
It was so hard to hold off my 7 year old on that spike. And then two fawns came in. She wanted to shoot them. In any other scenario, I'm probably saying, yeah, absolutely shoot one. I don't care. But
Yeah,
when I'm hunting some other guy's property that's trying to grow big bucks, I'm like,
gotcha.
yeah, I
Yes,
better
sir.
not. But man, that's cool. It sounds like you got a
Yeah,
good dad that's definitely spent some time with you in the woods. That's cool.
man. He spends more time on us getting us on deer than he does himself.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But
Yeah. That's great, man.
yeah, I mean, if you want me to go ahead and jump to the next story I've got prepared for you, I can.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this.
So my dad, man, he's a big bow hunter. I'm talking his biggest buck he's killed is with a bow.
Hmm.
So he got us whenever we were young. He started us early. I think we were about 7 or 5 or whatever. He got us these itty bitty compound bows to play with.
Hmm.
Started us out small. Well, later down the road, he got me shooting a good compound. Well, I say a good compound. It was a very small lime green bear compound bow, like the
Hmm.
bear brand.
Oh yeah.
And I shot that thing so much, I don't even think I could hit 20 yards good. But finally, he got me where I could hit, I think, a pie plate in a decent grouping. And he got me out bow hunting, put me in a tripod. And this is another time that it's just, man, it's taking forever. I don't see deer. I've got good bucks on camera. I'm talking good bucks on camera. I'm just not seeing any. I've
Hmm.
seen rabbits. I've seen squirrels. I'm not seeing no deer. Well, that year passed, didn't kill a deer. Next year passed, my dad puts me on a different spot. This time, I'm on the deer lease, the hunting lease, not my grandpa's property. And the
Yeah.
way this is, it's kind of weird. I'm on one of my grandma's lanes. She has her own hunting stand, and I'm on one of her lanes that's cut. There's a lane here, and two out in front. A
Yeah.
lot of good deer killed on that one, by the way. And so I'm on the left lane. My dad and me scattered out. There's decent deer sign in there. There's been a lot of good bucks seen. So he puts me on this tree line. Puts me in a ground blind tree line, and he puts me a little hang feeder, little rope feeder, out in front. And I don't remember the first. I don't remember how many hunts it took, but it wasn't very much.
Hmm.
First deer walks out. It's a late evening hunt. It's dark or almost dark. There's like maybe 10 minutes left of shooting light. And dude, I see a deer. I don't care if she's in the brush or not. I draw back on this deer and I shoot, and I just see my arrow bouncing off of limbs. It just
Mm.
it in my mind, I thought I killed the deer because I was like maybe 14, 15. I don't know. I was so excited. I shot at it. I told my dad, I think I smoked her. I think I smoked that deer. And we're out there looking. He looks at my arrow. He's like, I'm sorry, buddy. You didn't kill that deer. I'm all down in the dumps, man. I'm
Mm.
so upset. But I keep hunting that spot. My dad's taught me right. I keep hunting that spot. I think the next day another deer walks out. I shoot right under her belly. And I think in total, I think I missed 4 deer before I
Oh
finally
man.
got.
Yeah.
I mean, but it makes it that much sweeter that it took that many times to kill one.
Right.
So the time that I finally killed my first deer with a bow, so I'm in that ground blind. I'm just enjoying the hunt. I like to enjoy my hunts as far as just enjoying looking out, watching squirrels, looking at the sunrise, all that stuff. I love that. It's my favorite. And
Hmm.
I'm just enjoying the hunt, and I see a doe walk out. I see another doe walk out. It's a good doe and a yearling. And I couldn't really tell at the time what the yearling was. I just saw deer and I knew I wanted to kill one. So they get under the feeder, they're eating, they're not worried about a thing in the world. I draw back on the yearling, didn't know it was the yearling. I draw back on her, clean miss,
Mm.
straight over the back. Well, thankfully, this doe, other one, did not leave. She had her head behind a tree. She didn't see where the arrow came from. She didn't know what happened, why the other doe left. So she's still there. And man, at this point, I'm not sad. I'm mad. I'm mad at myself. I'm mad that I'm missing. And I grab another arrow. All I remember is I grab another arrow. I draw back and I hold my pin right on that crease, right by the elbow. I squeeze and I watch that arrow sink right in that deer. And dude, I knew it was a kill shot. I was so pumped. I just remember saying, this seems to be my catchphrase. I'm just saying, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way. And it was awesome. And the way I found this deer, I'm just like, man, I guess I'll just go get in my grandma's box blind and just watch and see if there's any more deer walk out. I'm not going to shoot anything. I'll just watch. I get in the box blind and I look out my binoculars. I'm like, there's a deer laying there. That's my doe. And dude, I am pumped. I didn't even know I killed the deer yet. I thought it was going to be a long, blood trail and everything. And I just see the deer like maybe 60, 70 yards from where I shot her.
Oh heck yeah.
Dude, I am pumped. And
Oh, that's awesome.
I dragged the deer to the deer stand. And I'm just sitting beside the deer waiting on my grandpa. And man, that will never leave me. My first deer with a bow won't ever leave me. That's my favorite hunt, probably.
Oh, that's fantastic, Colton. So tell me a couple questions for you. So
Yes, sir.
you were struggling a little bit to make some good shots, and you had some misses
Yeah.
and things like that. What do you think was going on there? Was it just beginner's nerves? I mean, you've killed some deer before, but is
Yes.
there a difference between the gun and the bow, or what's
There
going on with
for
you?
for me, there's a big difference. So with a gun, for some reason, I'm just a really good shot with a gun. My dad's brought me up in that. It's just I've been a good shot with a gun, but I just don't have. I'm not real nervous as much with a gun. I don't shake real
Mhm.
bad. I can get it done with a gun. But when I started out with a bow, man, I still have it sometimes. It's bad target panic. I'm talking
Mhm.
bad target panic. And my nerves, every time I see a deer, like I told you, I shake really bad. And I just know, for me, when I saw deer, because the year before I told you, I didn't see anything. And me
Mhm.
just seeing deer was so awesome. I got so excited that I was shaking. I was nervous that I was going to miss. And it was just, I know I rushed the shot, obviously, but it was mainly
Mhm.
just nerves and excitement.
Yeah. The first, I think, four deer I shot with a compound bow, or any bow, really. I think I thought my first one was with a crossbow, actually. I spined. I hit every single one of them
Yeah.
high. And I think what it was is like I was so used to shotgun hunting and we did deer drives. So it was always deer on the run and you're always trying to make a running shot. And it was just always
Yeah.
like you had to be fast because the deer weren't going to stick around.
Yeah.
Very rarely did I have a situation where a deer was standing there, and that's not ideal. I know that now. There was a lot of
Yeah.
deer injured in that form of hunting, but it was fun.
Yeah.
But whenever I picked up the bow, I'm like, all of a sudden, one, the deer is not out there at 50 to 100 yards. He's now, like 20 yards right underneath my
Yeah.
stand. And all of a sudden, I mean, it's just like, I didn't know I could get this close. There's,
And that was the
I mean,
same for me.
I respect gun hunters and
Yeah.
I love gun hunting, but to me, there is a difference between gun hunting and bow hunting. And it's that having a deer and an animal
Yeah.
like that close, to me, it takes that
Man,
messes with your nerves.
I agree with you, man. Bow hunting's my passion. I love it way more than gun hunting. But there's just something different about having a deer that close to you. Like
Yeah.
we always would hunt maybe 100 yards from the feeder.
Hmm.
And even me dropping deer, I've dropped does, I've dropped, that nubbin buck. But it's just different. It's
Hmm.
way different whenever you kill it with a bow. It's way different.
Yeah. Yeah. It gets me fired up, man. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
So I am curious. I don't know if you have any stories around this, but you keep referring to grandma's blind and your grandma and so tell me
Yeah.
about grandma. Grandma must be a killer. Like what's I don't have too many grandmas on the show. What's the story with grandma's blind here?
Well, what's funny about that is we call it her blind, but she doesn't really hunt it that much. She
Okay.
has hunted it. She has killed deer. She's killed hogs. I've got a lot of memories hunting with my grandma, but she likes to watch deer. She likes to video them on her phone. She's not the biggest killer out there,
Okay.
but we it was built for her.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so there's been a lot of good bucks. My dad has had a tree stand on that lane. He's killed a good buck on there before. My brother's killed hogs. We've killed a lot. I think my brother killed his first doe on that stand, and we've had a lot of good experience with it.
Nice.
And
That's cool.
unfortunately, we don't have that stand anymore, but it used to be an awesome stand.
That's cool. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
neat.
yeah,
I love to hear about grandparents. One of the saddest things is like this podcast, every time I've recorded with somebody, it's been posted. There's never been anybody that I felt like I'm not going to post whatever, it's always been
yeah.
good. But the worst thing that's ever happened is I recorded this like 85-year-old grandma telling stories, and she was hilarious, and she had some amazing stories about just for her hunting was just a way of life. It was just providing food for her family,
Yeah.
and she was like, kind of snarky and fun. Somehow I lost that recording. Like it got erased by
Man,
something and I never found it and I never had the
yeah,
heart to ask her back again. And it was like, I was like, oh,
man,
I know her stories and unfortunately never
man.
was
I
able
was
to
gonna
get that.
say I don't think I've ever heard that one before. I was gonna ask you where it's at.
It was an epic podcast and I let it go. And unfortunately she passed away a few years ago. And so that one
Man,
never made it. But
was that early on in your podcasting?
yeah, it's before I used Zoom. I was using like a recording thing on my phone that I had to pay for, and I
Gotcha.
stopped paying for it, and therefore my what I had saved went away. So yeah,
Man, hate that.
yeah. So that's cool, man. Well, awesome
Yes, sir.
story. That's really cool how you got your first deer with bow there.
Man, it's awesome. And if you want me to keep going, I've got a couple more I can tell you. And
Yeah, we got time.
this one's also bow. And the lead up to this one is my favorite. So we're this time we're not hunting in the deer lease where we always have hunted. So this time we're on my friend's. Well, it's not my friend. It's a national forest,
Oh, okay.
and my dad's friend Ben that he works with, he let us hunt with him. We're staying at his deer camp, eating roast or I don't remember what we was eating. We had a good time with him, laughing, cutting up, and all that.
Yeah.
And so originally, my dad had me set up in a ground blind. I love hunting ground blinds, love seeing the deer eye to eye like that. But it just was right off the road. It just wasn't the best spot. Didn't see any deer on it. So my dad's friend Ben, he decided that he was going to, excuse me, he was going to help me find a better spot, if I could say it like that. So he puts me on this really old um, ladder stand. We don't
Hmm.
even know how old it is. He just found it in the woods one day. No one's ever hunted it. He's never seen anybody in it for years.
Mm.
And this dude is on a pine tree. It's not brushed in at all. I'm sticking out like a lollipop, man. I don't think I'm gonna see nothing on this spot, but I hunt it anyway. And we don't for this time we don't even have a feeder. You can't use feeders in a national forest, so we just
Okay.
like do little hand corn tosses like that. You don't want to use too much, and that's what we did. Hunted over corn, and the first hunt didn't see anything. Saw a lot of squirrels. It's a beautiful spot. In the morning time, the sun's rising up. You see it on the horizon. It's awesome. I love that spot still, but just didn't see anything the first couple hunts. And I feel like because it was hot. It was about 75 to 80
Mm.
degrees. It was
Yeah,
hot.
that was slow
And
movement.
so like I was really I was really happy because I saw on the weather app that it was going to be cooler in the day. I think it was going to be in the mornings about 45 degrees. It's pretty good weather for deer movement, I feel like, at least down here. And we get up in the morning and I think it's like 40. And it's chilly, the wind's blowing. It feels like good deer movement. Deer cast says it's going to be good and I'm excited. And I get out there and I always start off my hunts with a prayer. What I've always done. I'm walking to the stand, thanking God for the opportunity and that He's allowed me to hunt.
Mm.
And I'm just saying, Lord, whatever you want to bring me, I will gladly take it. Whatever you want to bring me, I'll take it. And I get in the stand and I'm still praying a little bit, and I'm like, I think I hear something. I hear little footsteps. I'm like, well, normally I'd say that's squirrels, but squirrels aren't up right now, and it could be a hog, but that just doesn't sound like hog steps. I'm like, I think that's a deer. And you got to understand, this deer, all I can, it's like not even any kind of daylight at all. It's like barely daylight. All you see, I see is a little silhouette, black silhouette of a deer walking in front of me, and I'm pumped. It's like 5 yards below my tree stand. I'm happy, and I'm hoping to God. I'm like, Lord, let him stick around till daylight. I can't shoot in this, but I just, Lord, let him stick around till daylight. I don't know if it's a doe or if it's a buck or whatever. And so it gets crack of daylight. I can tell that it's some kind of buck because it's raking its horns on a bush.
Hmm.
And I get my rangefinder up and I look. I can see a little bit better with my rangefinder. And I look, and unfortunately it's a little 4 point. Here in Texas, you can only shoot. So the way it works as far as legal is if it's a grown deer, it's either doe, 13 inches or wider, and a cull buck. That's
Hmm.
for grown. If it's a young deer, it's either a spike, a nubbin buck or something like that, or a 3 point.
Okay.
3 points is max on a young buck.
Okay.
And this one was 4, and I got mad. I'm like, man, this would have been my first buck with a bow. I'm upset, but I'm like, it's all right. This deer walks off, and I'm just gonna keep hunting. It's a good morning, good weather, feels good. I just keep hunting. Well, a little bit later on, a little later in the hunt, I think maybe an hour later, I hear, uh, no, I see a fawn and a doe step to my left, and the fawn doesn't think nothing of it. Mind you, I'm in like a lollipop in that tree. There's no cover around me at all.
Yeah.
And the fawn, how young she is, it doesn't think anything of it. But the doe sees me immediately. She bounds off, blowing.
Ugh.
She,
That sounds.
I feel like I'm not going to see nothing that hunt. The
Yeah.
fawn sticks around just because she don't see me. She's so low to the ground, she probably can't see me anyways. And I can hear the doe just continually blowing in the woods. I'm like telling that fawn, go in the woods so your mom will shut up. And I was so upset because I'm like, man, doe blowing for me is like just it's the end of the hunt. It just feels like.
Yeah. Same.
And I just keep hunting. I'm like, I'm not going to get out of the stand. I've made the mistake before just getting out of the stand when I hear doe blowing. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm staying hunting. And a little bit later, I think it's about we get out of the stand about 10. I think it's close to 8:30. I see that 4 point again, and it's walking. So I got the corn like maybe 20 yards angled at my left, and the buck walks out, comes around, comes in front of me, and goes into the corn. I take a little bit of a video of the buck, And I sent it to my dad. I'm like, Dad, is there any way I could possibly shoot this deer? He says, well, from what I'm seeing, one of his points looks a little bit shorter than an inch. And that's how how you say if
Right.
it's a legal measurable point or not. And he goes, if he is legal, shoot him. And as soon as he said shoot him, I stand up, I draw my bow back. He's about 15, 16 yards. I draw my bow back, I shoot, he drops, arrow goes right behind his shoulder, and he runs off about 50 yards. I saw the arrow fall out. He's gushing blood, and he's looking at me. He's about 50 yards in front of me. He's looking at me. He gets a little wobble, and
Mm-hmm.
he falls. And dude, I lose my mind. Up to this point, I've never shot a deer with a bow where I've seen him fall in front of me.
Yeah.
And dude, I was so pumped.
Yeah.
That that
Nothing
was
better.
that was like probably my favorite hunt out of all of them. That was probably my favorite. I love it.
Dude, that's sweet. I love first what I love about that is you're shooting what makes you happy. I mean, we
Yeah,
put so much pressure on the big buck world and the mature buck world, and I mean, if that's what people want to do and it makes them happy, no, I'm not going to tell them not to. But I
yeah,
just think my buddy Trav and I talk about this all the time, how we've made hunting almost not fun, and it's like people shoot deer, small deer, and then they want to apologize. Well, he's not the big like. Just go out there and
yeah.
enjoy it. Go out, especially if you're
I
new, go
agree.
out and cut your teeth and get into it and have a good time. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just we put so much pressure, and I think we make hunting not be a whole lot of fun whenever we set crazy expectations.
I
So,
agree. It's kind of because, especially social media, the way that people put their posts on social media. That's not a bad thing at all. I would like to do that too, but I'm just saying, like people, I think it's more of a status thing than anything. You
mhm.
want to be the one posting only big bucks, only 140 inches or higher.
Yep.
Man, I get pumped for somebody when I see somebody young just shot their first deer, or
Yeah.
some old guy just who you didn't think would ever kill anything again. He shot a spike. Dude, I'm happy for that guy.
And he's got a big smile on his face. Like, he's
Yeah,
got nothing to
exactly.
prove, and it's just like if you don't like it, scroll on. At the end of the day, it doesn't
Exactly.
really matter. So,
I agree. Yes, sir. Love
that's
it. Love it. Yes, sir. But man, I don't know how long you wanted to go, but I've got one more up my sleeve,
that's
and it's my
perfect.
most
Let's do
recent
it.
one.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Alrighty. So this one I've actually got with me. I'm gonna show it to you after I tell the story. So to start it off, it was we were at a youth event with my all of our youth group and everything. I think it was like a birthday party or something. And I invite my friend Britton. He's the same age as me, born on the same day. Like he's 4 hours older. Best friend. I invite him to go hunting with me. He does hunt some, but his dad's really not much in contact with him a whole lot. He used to take him hunting. He just doesn't really do that anymore. And I'm like, Britton, why don't you go hunting with us? He's like, man, I'd love to. You
Yeah.
just let me know when we're going. I'm like, all right, I'll talk to my grandparents and see if you can come with us. And so he gets to come. He drives. No, he rides with us. We drive two vehicles, my Dodge Durango and my grandparents' truck. And so he goes with us, and I'm happy he's with us. We're having a good time. We're cutting up at the camp and stuff. And I put him on a ground blind. I told him he could bow hunt because he likes to bow hunt. He hasn't done it much, but he likes to bow hunt. So I put him on a ground blind that my dad's killed deer. We've seen deer before. I put him there, and my brother is hunting. Um, he's hunting with my dad in that national forest, so he's going off with my dad, and I'm hunting that stand that I killed my nubbin buck.
Okay.
But this my dad has rebuilt a new stand. This other stand fell down. We rebuilt a new stand, and I'm hunting in that. So we hunt for a little bit. My friend doesn't see anything. I see a couple of does. I'm wanting a buck. I've killed a lot of does, killed a lot of small stuff. I want a buck. I want a good buck. And so I'm like, well, Burton, I mean, I've seen a couple of does, man. I'm like, how about this? How about I'll let you hunt that stand in the mornings and I'll hunt in the evenings? And he's like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So what I do is I actually don't hunt that morning. I let him hunt.
Mm.
And he sees deer. he doesn't get a chance to kill him. His mom calls him or something, and it rings, and they take off. He's mad. That's a whole another story. He's upset about that. And but I went to the grocery store with my grandma that morning. I didn't go hunting, but I get this call from my friend Britton. It's about 10 o'clock. He's done hunting. This dude apparently gets lost as easy as ever. I didn't know this, but it's a straight trail to that stand. He calls me. We're on our way back from grocery shopping, and he calls me. He's like, "Dude, I think I'm lost." I'm like, "Dude, how are you lost? Like, it's a straight trail. There's no way you could be lost." He's like, "Well, I'm gonna try to find my way back on the trail." And no sooner than he says that, his phone dies.
Oh no.
So, dude, we're responsible for him. Like we're responsible for him. His mom let him come. We're responsible for him. So I'm like, dude, I don't care if I scare off every deer in the county. I've got to find him.
Yeah.
I've got to go look for him. And so I go out there. I don't want to. It hurts me so bad, but I had to holler for him. I had to scream his name. Britton, Britton, where are you? I'm going on the back stand where he's hunting. I'm going on the first stand where deer have been killed. I'm going all the way to the house hollering for him. And finally, my little brother goes in the house. He goes, "He's in here asleep." Dude, mad is not the word to describe me. I was mad mainly because I let him hunt that morning, being nice. But what made me the most mad is that he calls me, uses the last little bit of battery he has to call me and tell me he's lost. So what am I going to think? He tells me he's
Yep.
lost. I'm going out there screaming for him.
Yep.
And
That's
dude,
funny.
I'm mad, but at the same time, I'm like, this dude hasn't been hunting in a while. It's kind of different for him, I guess. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stay mad at him. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna stay mad at him. But I stick with the deal. I stick with the plan. I hunt that evening. I don't really see much, obviously. Um, but so the next morning he hunts, and he no. The next morning he actually decided to hunt the ground blind. I said, "Dude, I'm probably not gonna see nothing else on that stand. You can just hunt the ground blind." He goes, "All right, that's fine." So the next morning I'm hunting it, and I see 4 does. And I'm like, dude, this is insane. I was back here screaming this dude's name. And I see 4 does, and I see a buck, about a little basket rack 6 point, chase him off. I'm like, okay, maybe this is a good spot to hunt right now, even though I just got done screaming. And anyway, so that evening, I saw more deer. But I forgot to tell you this. I had a trail camera on that spot, and there was a few decent bucks, little tall 7 point, younger deer, and a couple younger does, and all this stuff. But then we had a good cull buck. It looked about maybe a 3 or 4 year old, maybe three and a half, and it was a good cull buck. He had really good brow tines, had a good curl to his horns. He would have been, I think, a 12 point if he had his whole rack.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, man, I want to kill this buck. I nicknamed him Coleslaw. I, I've never named a buck before. I'm like, man, that's kind of fitting. So I
Yeah.
named him Coleslaw, and I'm like, man, I want to kill this deer. And so the next morning after, I get a picture of him on that stand. I'm like, dude, I didn't even think this dude was even around anymore. After me screaming like that, you think the older deer would leave, but he's there. He's eating corn. He's chasing does and all this. I'm like, man, I'm gonna hunt him in the morning. So I get in that stand. On the way, I'm like, Lord, you can send me what you want to, but I would be so happy if I kill that cold buck. I would be
Yeah.
so pumped if I kill that cold buck. So I get in the stand. It's a really cold morning. I turn the buddy heater on, and it's cold. It's a good morning, and I fall asleep. I don't. I don't like to admit it. Sometimes I get drowsy. It's like I wake up well before daylight, and I go to sleep before daylight. Well, I woke up about crack of daylight, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll give out a few little grunts, and I go, brr, brr, just 2 little grunts. That's all I did. Dude, it wasn't even a full minute that went by. I hear steps. I'm like, that could be a doe with, piqued a curiosity, but that might be a buck. and I hear it off to my right, and it's coming, and dude, it's that coal buck.
Mm.
And I'm like, there's no way that's that coal buck. I'm start shaking, and I'm like, no, I gotta calm down. I gotta calm down. I gotta kill this deer. I gotta kill this deer. And so his head's on a swivel. He is ticked. He's mad. He's looking for whatever buck just running at him. And he walks out. And so the way the lanes are set, there's one lane here, two lanes at an angle, and one lane out front. Well, there's also a bunch of thin trees out along it. So it's
Mm-hmm.
really kind of open. So I see which way he's going to go. There's a trail that cuts across a pipe feeder my dad made with PVC pipe. There's a trail that goes through there, and he's going along that trail looking for that buck that I just, made that noise. And his head's on a swivel. He's looking, he's walking, and I'm like, I'm going to stop him with a grunt. Because if you whistle at them, sometimes they might run off or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So I grunt at him. I've got my grunt tube up on my arm, and I go, and I get my gun up in the sights. He stops perfectly broadside. He could not have been more broadside. And I shoot, and he runs off, and I shake like crazy. I mean, I'm shaking like a leaf in 60-mile-an-hour wind. I am so pumped. And first person I always call, always text is my dad.
Yeah.
Always call my dad first. And my dad he hears my phone ringing. He's like, I bet you Kolton killed that coal buck. And I answer, I said, Daddy, I just killed that coal buck. He's like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. I'm like, Daddy, I promise you, I had him right behind the shoulder. I pulled the trigger. I'm pretty sure I saw blood squirt out. I'm almost positive that dude's dead right now.
Yeah.
He said, okay, what I want you to do is wait a few minutes. Just wait maybe 10 minutes and just go blood trailing. And I wait. I wait 10 minutes. And I get out. I bring my gun just in case he's not dead. And I go blood trailing him. Well, there's not a lot of blood, but it's good blood. It's pink blood. There's bubbles in it. It's
Yeah.
good blood. And I call my dad. There's bad service back there, so it's kind of bits and pieces. But I told him there's good blood, and he says, okay, just go to the next blood. Go to the next blood. You'll find your deer if you just keep doing that. And I've trailed blood trailed deer before, but my dad's the type of person he'll tell you like you've never done it before, but I just let him talk.
Right. Yeah.
And so I do it. I blood trail him, and I call my dad joking with him. I said, Daddy, I don't think I'm gonna find this deer. He said, what do you mean? I'm like, I just don't think I'm gonna find him. I'm like, I'm just kidding. He's right here. I found this dude piled up on the bank of a dried up creek, and I got him right here.
Yeah. Let's
It's
see this
actually
guy.
it's a really really nice one.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's got good brow tines. I
Yeah, he's
could have
got
called him
five on one side. That looks like a
I,
blade on the brow.
yeah, I was about to say we could have called him Blade. He would have been a stud. Dude, I'm thinking what happened on this side. It's kind of rounded off, if you can see that.
Yeah, I
I'm
can.
I'm I'm thinking he might have broke off in velvet. I don't know
Yeah.
how that could happen, but I don't think he was like a legitimate coal buck. So a fraction of me was upset that I shot the deer because I knew he would have been bigger next year.
Yeah.
But the most of me was pumped that I killed that deer.
Absolutely. That's a good
And
deer, man.
I've never killed a deer that I've seen on camera before, and man, I'm okay. I know you're probably getting a little bit tired and everything, but I kind
No,
of
you're
wanted
good.
to tell you. You mentioned tell my testimony if I could,
Yeah, absolutely.
and so what I'm leading this with is I'm just thankful to be here, man. I'm thankful to be alive. Thankful that God's blessed me to be here.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna tell this little quick story. I'm probably not gonna get all the details right. So I was born about I think think probably 2 months early because and the only reason they pulled me out early is because my mom had preeclampsia and stuff. They thought she was gonna die from that.
Mm.
So they pulled me out early, and apparently my stomach or my the wall of my belly had not closed all the way. I was
Mm.
early, very very early, and so like I'm trying to remember how much. I think it was I can't remember. The majority of my small intestines were just floating around in the womb, and they got kinked up, and they just were floating dead in the womb.
Mm.
And man, the doctors didn't give me much hope, man. They had a meeting that they called, and they said, so we got two options for you. One is we can send him to Nebraska, see what they can do with him there. And two, you can take him home, make him comfortable, and just let let nature take its course. And my grandpa, my mom's dad did not give them a chance to even say another word. He said, "No, there's no way. If there's a chance, we're taking him to Nebraska. I don't care if we got to take him to Canada." I don't even know if he said that. I'm just trying to get the
Yeah.
point across. They wanted. I was their firstborn child. They they wanted to do anything they could to save me.
Wow.
And man, I went to Nebraska. I lived there for 4 years. They didn't give me much hope, man. I just when I go in the deer woods, man, I'm looking at the sunrise. I'm looking at the squirrels and everything, and I'm like, man, God, you're good. I should not be here. I shouldn't even be alive. And I shouldn't be in my right mind. I shouldn't have all my fingers on my toes. But man, I'm out here hunting, killing
Yeah.
deer. And I'm like, man, God, you are so good. And I'm just thankful to be here. It is such a blessing.
Oh, cool. Yeah, man, great. Thanks for sharing that. That hits me hard in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
A lot of people they don't recognize how fragile life is, and I mean, you probably heard about my coal truck accident and that whole situation
Yeah.
last
I
year,
did.
and it just I'm so grateful that that happened in some ways because it's like there's no way to really recognize just how grateful you are, and that was my first feeling. Like after I came out of it, I mean, there was pain, there's things I had to deal with, but at the end
Yeah.
of the day, I was like, I'm still alive, and I shouldn't be because
Exactly.
that car looked awful, and and it's just, and I also think about my daughter. It's the same thing. We were blessed with
Yeah.
5 years with her, and she wasn't supposed to live that long. And it's just like, while some people think that that's a sad story, in my mind, it's like some of the best years of my life were taking care of
Yes,
her and
sir.
watching her do amazing things. So, man, I love that. And I think, man, so many people live their lives and they complain, they're bitter, they're angry, and they just don't recognize the gifts that we have. Just another
Yeah.
day is a gift. And like,
You're right.
I don't like my job, I don't like this or whatever. And yeah, there's things that are tough, but man, a lot of life is really, really good, and we need to recognize that. So I
Man,
appreciate
I
that
completely
about you.
agree with you. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And for me, it's not just that I'm alive. Some people could say I'm alive, but I've got this wrong with me. I've got limbs missing. I've got all this. I was born completely whole, minus this minor stuff in my intestines and all that. Born whole, born in my right mind. I can play basketball some. I've got friends. I go to church. Man, I'm able to do things, and that's just the way I look at it. Sometimes I would get upset. My dad would encourage me, say, "Son, it could be way worse. You
Mm,
could be like some of those kids are in those mental institutes that don't even really know what's going on, you
yeah.
know." And
Yeah.
I'm just he's really helped me with that. He's given me a lot of encouragement, and I'm just every time I pray, I try to thank God every time, but I thank God every breath that you give me is another blessing.
Mm,
Every breath I take in is just another blessing. It
that's
is
it, man.
awesome. Love it.
I love that. I love that. You're
Yes, sir.
18?
18 years old, turning 19 in May.
Nice. Well, I think you got a bright future ahead of you, man. I mean, you
Yes,
are
sir.
fun to talk to. I enjoyed the
Yes.
stories and
Yes, sir.
love your story, man. I think that's a great way for people to look at things. So, Colton,
Yes, sir.
definitely hit us back up. I want to have you back on sometime. We'll get some more stories over the next few years and
Yes,
stay in
sir.
touch, brother. I appreciate you giving us some time tonight.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it, man.
Man, I loved having Colton on. Just super impressed with him and just his heart, not only for hunting and just the fun that he's had in the woods, but also his heart for the Lord. Him sharing that at the end, that had me tearing up, and just super glad to have him on. A verse that kind of came to mind, and we'll wrap up with this. Lamentations 3:22 and 23 says, "The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." When we think about God's mercies, God's love for us, it never ends and it's new every morning. And I just think like Colton's trying to live with that type of attitude. And man, I so appreciate that about him because it's so easy to get bitter and frustrated. And when things go hard in life, it's easy to take a route where you're just kind of being negative. And Colton's trying his best to live in a positive way. Whenever he's going into the woods, he says a prayer thanking the Lord for what he's got. And I think that's tremendous, tremendous. So hats off to him, and I'd encourage us all to try and remember that. It's easy to let life knock you down and get to the point where you're just frustrated and mad all the time. I made a post recently on my own Facebook about how, we just need to chill out, and everybody should be slow to speak, slow to anger, quick to listen, and just take time because, man, life is short, and I don't want to spend it just staring at my screen, being mad at the world. I want to be appreciative of what God has given me. Guys, I want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming back for another episode. I hope that you enjoyed this one. I hope that you will come back again. Until next time, remember to shed the light.